From the News Channel 5 Network, this is OpenLine.
Hey everybody, welcome to OpenLine. Jason Lamb here with you tonight. I'm glad you're here with us because we have a very interesting topic and a great guest for you this hour, and we really want to hear all your calls. We're going to be talking about the cannabis boom in Tennessee. This is a topic that we do stories about all the time, and I think it's fair to say there can be a lot of confusion, a lot of maybe even misinformation about a lot of the terms involved. So we're going to get into all of that tonight, and we really do want to hear from you. This show is called OpenLine for a reason. We have the phone lines open waiting for you to call. That number is 615-737-PLUS, 615-737-7587. We have a great guest here with us for this hour. Her name is Kelley Hess. She is with the Tennessee Growers Coalition. Kelley, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Well, Kelley, first of all, I think a lot of people want to know, what exactly does the Tennessee Growers Coalition do?
Yeah, sure. The Tennessee Growers Coalition is the political action committee for the hemp industry here in Tennessee. So what that means is we're a nonprofit, nonpartisan political action committee who we raise funds to help support pro-hemp and pro-cannabis legislators to the Tennessee General Assembly, and we also lobby downtown and try to do some grassroots lobbying as well.
So I think when a lot of people hear that term cannabis, a lot of people go to, what is illegal in a lot of states, what's illegal in Tennessee right now, recreational marijuana use, things like that. But again, there's a lot of terms when it comes to this topic here tonight. So one of those first things, can you just differentiate between marijuana, THC, and things like hemp, or some of the other terms, that we're hearing and that there is quite a big industry about nationwide and here in Tennessee?
Yeah, sure. So the difference between hemp and marijuana is the federal definition of hemp. It's 0.3% delta 9 THC. So anything over 0.3% delta 9 THC is federally illegal, and everything under is defined as hemp and is federally legal. And so that is the cannabis boom here in Tennessee. Is the hemp industry, is the legal cannabinoids.
Right. A lot of what you do must have to do with education, and that's what we hope to be doing here tonight, is sort of maybe dispelling some of the myths and rumors about some of these different topics and terms that no doubt you've heard on the news across the country and here in Nashville. How much of what you do really is about education to the public and certainly to lawmakers that you might be working for or with?
Yes, education is key. We do a great deal of education for the lawmakers, educating them about hemp and these federally legal cannabinoids. And then on the flip side of that, we try to educate our members and the general public about the legislative process and how that works, and the politics and everything behind how a bill becomes a law, and how government affects industry.
Right. Well, again, we want to hear your calls. The number here is 615-737-PLUS, 615-737-7587. If you have any questions or comments here for Kelley Hess with the Tennessee Growers Coalition. Again, I think a lot of people, that may be tuning in here tonight, here's a group called Tennessee Growers Coalition and may say, well, this is a group that just straight up wants to legalize marijuana, even up to legalizing recreational marijuana. Talk a little bit about just sort of the steps in between that and some of the other uses and things that that we may be hearing talked about on Capitol Hill this upcoming term.
Yes. So right now we're the big talk on Capitol Hill is the Delta 8. Delta 8 and those hemp-derived cannabinoids, like I mentioned, are federally legal. However, we have to really, it's the state's responsibility, and what we're advocating is for some common sense regulations on those federally legal cannabinoids. You know, with the Delta 8 and those psychoactive cannabinoids. You know, we don't want children getting those, so we want 21 and up. We want you know, proper labeling, proper packaging, and things like that. So that's really what we're focused on, is protecting that segment of the industry. And then our board of directors, we support medical legalization. We support recreational cannabis at some point, but what we've seen, we have a lot of examples. 38 states have legalized in some form or fashion. So we have a unique opportunity here in Tennessee to do it right, to get it right. You know, we want to make sure that patients, if we have a medical program, that patients actually have the opportunity to get that medicine. And we want to have an opportunity for those Tennessee small businesses to participate in that market, because you see a lot of states where they're not, you know, small businesses are edged out because of this over-regulation, too much red tape. And so we just want to, you know, the Tennessee motto is agriculture, commerce. And so we want to encompass that in any cannabis program for the whole plant. And we're also particularly focused and interested in the fiber piece of cannabis, of hemp. That's a piece that doesn't really get talked about a lot, and mainly it's because we don't have the capital infrastructure to turn a plant into fiber that somebody would want to purchase. So we're hoping that with this Delta 8 regulation bill that's coming up next year, hopefully the bill that we brought last year said that it would generate like $20 million in revenue, so annually. So hopefully the state could allocate some of that money into some fiber investment, so we could, some capital infrastructure, so we could be a place where we have that agriculture and commerce, you know, we support that.
Yeah, we're going to get into a lot of details about all of these topics here throughout this hour, but we've already got some calls coming in. Lucas, we're going to get to you in just 1 second, but first we want to get to Mike here. Mike on line 1. You're here on Open Line. Mike, what's your question or comment?
Hello, good evening to both of you. My question is to her. What happened when the Farm Bill 2018 got passed? What were some of the main components that proponents wanted in that bill versus adversaries who opposed it? Second of all, I had friends who basically have had CBD. They have experienced Delta 8 and THCO, THCA, HHCO, and so many definitions of what they've done with the hemp plant. My question to you is, are there forces out there in Tennessee, whether it be prison unions, police unions, the alcohol industry, that is trying to deter the progress of Delta 8 and the hemp plant? And I'll just sit back here at my house and wait for your answers. I hope you guys have a great night. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Mike. Yeah, Kelley, just anything you want to address about that?
To your first question, to the 2018 Farm Bill, so we're a state group, so we weren't in the mix nationally in DC when that passed in 2018, and so I'm not sure of the pros and cons of that, but in 2018 we that was when the hemp was federally legal. Before that, in 2014, it was a pilot project, and so people, farmers and the hemp industry were participating under a pilot project, and so 2018 it was not a pilot project and was completely federally legal. to the next question, yes, there are definitely groups out there that do not want the legalization of cannabis, particularly some of the bureaucratic law enforcement lobbyists. They see a lot of the. And it's a problem for them. They can't tell the difference between hemp and marijuana, but it's federally legal, and that's something that we're going to have to face and we're going to have to figure out. But yeah, there are definitely forces out there that do not want the legalization of cannabis. It's really, I believe, we don't believe that the average cop on the beat. We think they want legalization. We believe that from the ones that we've heard from, they want to focus their time on, violent crimes and things like that. But I think it's the asset forfeiture issue with the unaccounted money that they receive from asset forfeiture, and it's just a big process that they want to protect, it's just it's something that we definitely have to fight against, and a big education push.
Right. All right, our guest here tonight is Kelley Hess with the Tennessee Growers Coalition. Keep your calls coming in. The number's there on your screen, 615-737-7587. We'll hear from Lucas when we come back.